guys, welcome back to Mathematics class with me, Ma'am Ruth. So, today we will learn about trigonometric function, and this is the first part. Related with some skyscraper in Vegas we seen earlier, how do we know the height of these buildings? Let's learn trigonometry and find out how it works on that problem. So now, let's discuss the trigonometric ratios of acute angles. We have a triangle OPQ, and here we have also an angle theta. So the side in the front of angle theta will be called the opposite side. And this side OQ beside theta will be called the adjacent side. The longest side will be called the hypotenuse. The ratio, which will be called sine theta. What is sine theta? Sine theta is the ratio between the opposite side on the hypotenuse side. The adjacent, if it is compared with the hypotenuse, we get the value of cos theta. And for the tangent, opposite over hypotenuse. So now you can see this white letter can be abbreviated as SOHCAHTOA. So that's how you can remember each of the ratio. S for opposite hypotenuse, C cosine for adjacent hypotenuse, and T for tangent is the opposite over adjacent. What is that? That is our diamond point. So you obtain the first diamond point and you will get some more later. In this example 1, we will calculate the value of sine theta, cos theta, and the value of theta if given that tangent theta equals 2. For tangent theta equals 2, then we can have this side as the opposite side and this side as the adjacent side, which value, since it is 2 over 1, it becomes 2 for the opposite and 1 for the adjacent. Then, since we need the value of sine theta, we need to calculate AC, the hypotenuse. Using Pythagoras, we can have the hypotenuse equals square root of 5. Then, the sine theta, which is the ratio of opposite over hypotenuse, will be 2 over square root of 5. And for the value of cos will be adjacent over hypotenuse, so it is 1 over square root of 5. Both of them can be rationalized like this. Last one, how to calculate theta? We can use calculator and calculate it using the key tangent inverse 2 over 1. And then we obtain value of the angle theta is 63.4 degree. Next is the trigonometric ratio of spatial angles. We have an equilateral triangle here, which can be divided by two exactly the same triangle, and at the right side we can see a right angle triangle with the angle of 30 degree and 60 degree. Since all the sides are 2, so when you divide it by 2, you have this side is 1 and this side is 2. So the height of the triangle can be calculated become square root of 3. Now, the spatial angle will be this angle 30 degree. We can calculate the ratio of 30 degree inside this triangle, which is the ratio between opposite, which is 1, over hypotenuse, which is 2. So the value of sine 30 degree will be a half. Next, for the value of cos, we take adjacent, which is square root of 3 divided by the hypotenuse, which is 2. So we have square root of 3 over 2, which is a half square root of 3. For tangent, it will be 1, the opposite, divided by adjacent, which is square root of 3. So later you can rationalize it become 1 over 3 square root of 3. Next, using the other angle 60 degree, you can have the ratio of sine, which is square root of 3 divided by 2. So it is a half square root of 3. cos 60 will be adjacent, which is 1, divided by 2, so it is a half, and the tangent, which will be the opposite over adjacent, so it is square root of 3. After that, we also can have a spatial angle inside the isosceles triangle. In isosceles triangle, we have the side which is 1 and 1. So these two sides is the same. So we can calculate this using Pythagoras. It will be square root of 2. Now let's calculate the value of sine 45 inside. You can use this angle, for example, which is 1 divided by square root of 2, so it can be rationalized become a half square root of 2. For the value of cos, it will be adjacent, which is 1, over hypotenuse, so the value will be the same, a half square root of 2. And for the tangent, it will be 1 divided by 1, so it is equals 1. Next, we'll discuss this example. Example 2. You are a block away from a skyscraper that is 780 feet tall. Your friend is between the skyscraper and yourself. The angle of elevation from your position to the top of the skyscraper is 40 degrees. The angle of elevation from your friend's position to the top of the skyscraper is 60 degrees. To the nearest foot, how far are you from your friend? So at the bigger triangle, we have the relation between x and 780 using opposite over adjacent. So what is that? That is tangent, right? So we have tangent 40 degree equals 780 divided by x. So that x is 780 divided by tangent 40. So let's keep this first as our first equation. At the smaller triangle, we will have tangent 60 equal the same, opposite over adjacent. We have 780 divided by y. So that y is 780 divided by tangent 60. So this is our second equation. Join those two equations together, we will have the difference. Here we need how far are you from your friend. So we need the distance between x and y. We will subtract, then we will have x minus y equal. So let's calculate it using calculator. This is 780 divided by tangent 40, which is this one. We will subtract with 780 divided by tangent 60. The result is 479.23. So this is the distance between you from your friend. Yes, we finished discussing example 2 and now you got the second diamond point. Let's do this until the end and got all of the diamond points available. The next that we have to discuss is the trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. What is complementary angles? If two angles with sum of 90, the two angles will be said to be complementary. So let's see what is the relation between complementary angles in trigonometry. Let's discuss example 3. Using the right angle triangle in the diagram, show that sine 90 minus theta equal cos theta. Hence, deduce the value of cos 20 divided by cos 20 plus sine 70. So this is the solution. The first, inside this triangle PQR, we have the value of cos theta. So this is the theta. The value of cos theta will be adjacent over hypotenuse, so it is A over C. Next, sine 90 minus theta. So we see this angle and find out the ratio of sine, which is A over C as well. So now we can conclude that the value of sine 90 minus theta is the same with cos theta. Substitute the theta with any value, for example 20, then you got sine 90 minus 20, which is 70, equals cos 20, because theta is 20, right? We will substitute the value of sine 70 here with cos 20. So we have cos 20 over 2 cos 20. This is equals a half. We can check here that the relation between P and R are complementary. For the complementary angle, we can deduce that the relation between theta and 90 minus theta will be like this. So that's the last diamond point. So it means